Thanks to some old-fashioned magic we call imagination, right now, we're leaving the world of today behind. So if your imagination is ready, here we go.
On October 16, 1923, Walt Disney and his brother Roy founded the Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio in Hollywood, California. The studio, now known as the Walt Disney Company, has had an oversized impact on the entertainment industry and is now one of the largest media companies in the world. Starting with the success of Alice comedies, then Mickey Mouse was introduced. The popularity of the Mickey Mouse shorts convinced Disney his studio could produce a feature film, which he began to do in 1934. Since then, the Walt Disney Company has produced dozens of groundbreaking and acclaimed films. It has evolved into a holding company for all manner of media and entertainment properties, opening theme parks across the world beginning in 1955 and acquiring dozens of companies in the 90s and 2000s. Disney now owns and operates ABC, ESPN, Pixar, Marvel Studios, and Lucasfilm. What began with a handful of animators producing short children's cartoons is today one of the most iconic companies in the world. Disney original cartoons and feature films constitute some of the most popular and enduring entries in the American canon. 21st Century Fox was an American multinational mass media corporation that was based in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. It was one of the two companies formed from the 2013 spin-off, the publishing assets of News Corporation, as founded by Rupert Murdoch in 1980. Murdoch was sole executive chairman, while his sons, Lachlan Murdoch and James Murdoch, were co-executive chairman and CEO respectively. It is one of the world's leading portfolios of cable, broadcast, film, TV, and satellite assets spanning 6 continents across the globe, reaching more than 1.8 billion subscribers in approximately 50 local languages every day. 21st Century Fox is home to a global portfolio of cable and broadcasting networks and properties, including Fox, Fox News Channel, Fox Business Network, Fox Sports Network, National Geographic channels, 28 local television stations in the US, and more than 350 international channels.
Disney and Fox also did not have to secure the approval of Federal Communications Commission (FCC), given that there were no license transfer that would trigger a review by regulators there. Doing so would have opened up public interest and typically puts a merger on the docket for the Command. Congress does not vote on mergers, but typically holds hearings on major media transactions. None was held for the Disney-Fox deal. For his part, President Trump appeared to give the deal his blessing on the day the transaction was announced. It started when the bidding war between Disney and Comcast on May dragged until July 2018. It was reported that Comcast spoke to investment bank about topping Disney offer to acquire Fox, but several investors said they would open to terminate the company agreement between Disney if Comcast would rather of all cash bid for $60 billion. The following weeks, Comcast publicly announced it was looking into making an all-cash counter offer for the Fox assets that Disney proposed to acquire. Shortly after, it was reported that Disney was looking into making its own all-cash counter offer for Fox assets if Comcast went through with their offer. On June 18, it was reported that Disney will add to its already existing $52 billion claim to contest Comcast's proposed counter offer for the Fox asset. After weeks of argument, Disney received the support of Institutional Shareholder Service and Glass Lewis, the two most prominent proxy advisor firms in the world. Fox shareholders were recommended by the advisor as means to provide for Disney's future. This bidding war kept on going until Comcast officially announced it was dropping in its bid on Fox asset in order to focus on its bid for Sky.
21st Century Fox top television executive will join the company, including Peter Rice, Carrie Neal, John Landgraf, and Dana Welton. Rice will be served the company as a chairperson of Walt Disney Television and co-chair of Disney Media Network, succeeding Ben Sherwood, while Walton is to be named chairperson of Disney Television Studio and ABC Entertainment. Disney has announced on March 5, 2019, Craig Hannett's will lead to the company TV operation at Disney Television Studio once the Disney Ford deal closes. Hannett will be the president of the subsidiary with oversight of operating.
The mechanism of merger between Walt Disney and 21st Century is horizontal, which is the combination of two competitors in the same market. The Disney 21st Century Fox deal is, legally speaking, an example of a horizontal international merger, whereby a company, which is Disney, buys up a competing corporation, which is 21st Century Fox, that produces the same goods, consolidating its position in the industry.
Particular reason stands out to many comic book fans. According to the Wall Street Journal, Disney wants to purchase Fox to secure the rights of other Marvel properties that Fox has the rights to. These are mainly the X-Men and Fantastic Four franchises. Disney also wants to be able to compete with Netflix in the streaming game. The company recently announced its plans to launch two different streaming services, one for ESPN and another for television and movies.
Stockholders of the two companies approved all proposals related to Disney acquisition of 21st Century Fox. The proposal included the adoption by 21st Century Fox stockholders of the merger agreement with Disney, which is the Disney merger agreement, and the distribution merger agreement for the spin-off the new Fox. Disney stockholders approved the issuance of the new common stock that will be distributed to 21st Century Fox stockholders as part of the acquisition. Combining the 21st Century Fox business with Disney and establishing new Fox will unlock significant value for our shareholders. The shareholders is approving this transaction. They expect the enlarged Disney and new Fox company will be preeminent in the entertainment and media industry. They are incredibly pleased that shareholders of both companies have granted approval to move forwards and are confident in their ability to create significant long-term value through the acquisition of premier assets. They remain grateful to Rupert Murdoch and to the rest.
And we made a very smart conquest for those of us who have been in the license business for a while. And we made a very smart conquest for those of us who have been in the license business for a while. And we made a very smart conquest for those of us who have been in the license business for a while. And we made a very smart conquest for those of us who
we can split it into two, that is upside and downside to the consumer. Jeff Greenfield, the co-founder and COO of attribution analytic company C3 Method, said about the upside to the consumer. Meanwhile, Paul Werner, the e-marketer principal analysis, says about the downside to the consumer.
Disney reported that its profit is increasing in the recently quarter as it merged with 21st Century Fox. The entertainment titan said its net income was up 85% to $5.4 billion during the first 3 months of this year on revenue that was up 3% to $14.9 billion. Disney shares were up less than 1% to $136.2 in market after trade that followed release of the earnings. The jump in Disney profits was likely due to an increased stake in the video streaming platform of Hulu that resulted from its acquisition of Fox assets. As for the conclusion, we conclude that merger between Walt Disney and 21st Century Fox was succeed. Disney is among some of the biggest names in the media world gearing up to move into streaming in what could be a major challenge to market leader Netflix.
So, kasi Yasin mo ta?
Hello, nama saya Siti Nurul Ibtisam dan ini.
My name is Nabila.
Hi, I'm the pretty one.
Bye.